not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Tonight on Primetime, several prep school grads test positive for COVID-19. But with the Lovett School on virtual learning since March, the state wants to know how they got infected. People out enjoying the long weekend. We're keeping an eye on Georgia's COVID-19 numbers. A look at where the trends are going. And as we remember the men and women who sacrificed their lives to defend and protect our country, a look at how Metro Atlanta is observing Memorial Day differently this year.
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
On this Monday night, first, the Department of Justice is now investigating the shooting death of Ahmad Armory in Glynn County. Armory was shot and killed while running through a Brunswick neighborhood in South Georgia. Gregory and Travis McMichael, father and son, facing charges of felony murder, as is William Roddy Bryant, who recorded the deadly encounter. Armory's family attorney is Lee Merritt. He confirmed that the family was notified about the DOJ, the Department of Justice investigation, which also includes actions of the two district attorneys who recused themselves from this case. Shanu Hur has the very latest.
The attorney for Ahmad Arbery's family says the last few days have been full of updates. The latest news, Lee Merritt says, comes as a big relief for the family after meeting with the Department of Justice and the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, Bobby Christine.
There's a criminal and civil investigation ongoing involving not only the men who murdered Ahmad Arbery, but the state agents who may have participated or conspired in some other way.
Those state agents, Merritt says, include two DAs, Brunswick DA Jackie Johnson and Waycross DA George Barnhill. Both chose not to arrest Travis and Gregory McMichael after the shooting and then recused themselves from the case. Merritt says another big piece, the DOJ is also investigating the shooting as a hate crime. Getting to this point, Merritt says, is a big step for Arbery's parents.
Everyone has been very supportive. Everyone has been very focused on investigating the entirety of the claim. This has been in sharp contrast to what Wanda Cooper and Marcus Arbery had experienced prior to that tape going public.
Merritt says they weren't told whether charges were coming soon, but having the federal government look into the agencies involved addressed major concerns Arbery's family has.
But we were given assurance that was being looked into, and that was a major concern for Wanda Cooper.
Memorial Day activities during the pandemic. We're seeing a little bit of everything. Families enjoying Lake Lanier at a social distance and enjoying a day off outside, but safely spread out. 11 Alive's Tracy Emick-Pierre reports on the two sides of the holiday weekend.
It's been actually way less people than we thought it would be.
Milton Grant says today is the first time they've taken out their kayaks all year, and he's surprised that parking near the Chattahoochee River wasn't harder. But he says they feel safe from catching COVID-19.
Everybody is like 6 feet away from everybody else, so I don't see a problem, if you can get out and social distance getting out.
Along the river, the covered picnic tables were closed and taped off, as were the playground areas. But other families were using the tables that were far apart. Jack and Eve Reeves were walking along the river rather than paddling on it, but also say people were keeping a safe distance.
I have 2 masks in my purse if I was to get into a situation that I thought I needed them. But outside in the open air, I thought we were fine.
Everybody, for the most part, is keeping, at least 6 feet, 10 feet away.
Even at a local private pool, they're opening up for the start of summer, but with extra safety measures in place.
Stand still.
Like checking the temperature of everyone before they can even enter the gate, having everyone sign a waiver, spacing chairs on the deck 6 feet apart between families, and limiting the number overall by an online reservation system. And the DJ on Memorial Day was on hand, reminding everyone to keep it safe.
Thank you for helping our staff maintain those social distancing guidelines so we can keep all our members as well as our staff safe.
On the other hand, crowds of people not following state and guidelines of health recommendations. They were close together without masks. Viewers have been sharing pictures from restaurants and clubs and along streets and state parks in many parts of Georgia. There is a famous line that we are all very familiar with about Memorial Day, and it goes something like this, that our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. On Memorial Day, we honor their sacrifice. Many of the events normally held across Metro Atlanta put on hold this time around. Crowds were smaller than usual. In Loganville, a small group of people gathered for a wreath-laying ceremony. The city is home to a huge event normally involving hundreds of motorcyclists who drive from Loganville to Madison, but the Ride for America was canceled this year. Attendees at the wreath-laying stood far apart from each other, some wearing a mask, for a quiet tribute. In McDonough, Jim Houston was one of many across the country that stopped to play taps on his bugle. This afternoon, Taps Across America is a national moment of remembrance for those who have died in military service. Taps for Veterans says, with so many memorial events being canceled, it was important to have this event so people could recognize the holiday from their home. On Memorial Day, we are also thinking of military families who grieve and have for generations. Your loved ones are not forgotten. Be sure to look on the 11alive.com page for many ways that people across Metro Atlanta, the way they are observing Memorial Day.
Your 11 Alive storm trackers tracking those storms out there again this evening, moving from the southeast to the northwest, right across North Georgia. And, it's an interesting pattern because we have low pressure over the northeastern Gulf of Mexico. It's going to be moving to the north very slowly the next couple of days. It should stay to our east, but it will bring in a little cooler air for us. We're going to be in the 70s the next couple of days as it increases that easterly flow. So I think our skies are going to look a lot like they did today, each and every day this week. Those beautiful clouds building up during the afternoon, some of those cumulus clouds becoming cumulonimbus, and some of them dropping some heavy rain before they push off quickly. So thankfully, we didn't have as much lightning today as we have had in recent days. It's still possible to see some tonight because we'll have some evening showers and storms. Temperatures will be a little cooler as we head into our Tuesday and then settled all week long. So coming up, we'll time it out and let you know when you can expect most of the activity tonight and for the rest of the week.
11 Alive is committed to helping make sure that you have the most up-to-date information concerning COVID-19, and that includes working to make sense of Georgia's complicated data. We begin with new cases as we see Georgia's average tick up. There are a couple of reasons for this. More people are getting tested, plus people are also starting to become more mobile and interacting with one another more. Experts tell us that those factors help explain the reasons why we are seeing more cases right now. We want to look at the number of people who are in the hospital right now. This information, the closest to real time that we have. These are the most severe cases, the one that require serious medical attention. We continue to see the number go down from 1,500 at the beginning of the month to 848 today. And it seems like the drop is starting to slow down just a bit. As far as death, we are certainly concerned. We saw a big jump late last week, but 3 deaths were reported on Saturday, 16 on Sunday, and there may be reason for that. It is a holiday weekend, and reporting typically slows on the weekends. Nearly every drop you see on that graph marks a weekend. We recently learned Georgia's youngest victim of COVID, a 17-year-old boy from Fulton County. The Georgia Department of Health says he did have a chronic illness. At least 9 other people under the age of 30 have also died from the virus here in our state. At least 3 had other health issues. One woman is now hoping for justice for her 35-year-old sister. She was shot and killed during an argument in southwest Atlanta on Friday. She spoke today with Elwin Lopez.
Not only did Aisha lose one of her sisters, but she was also at risk of losing her youngest sister, who was also shot during that argument and is still in the hospital today.
Life is just so fragile. You don't realize it until something gets taken away from you so close to you.
35-year-old Shadia Melton was just 18 months older than her sister Aisha Jefferson.
She was so intelligent and bright and giving and just gifted.
On Friday, officers were called to Fairburn Road in southwest Atlanta around 8:30 p.m. There, they found 2 women with multiple gunshot wounds. One of them was Shadia. The other one was her sister Fatima. Shadia didn't make it, but her sister did.
Fatima is recovering. She's fighting for her life. She was shot in the main artery.
Atlanta police say there is a suspect, but have not disclosed a name yet, and no arrests have been made in connection to the shooting. Aisha says all she wants now is justice for both of her sisters.
Anybody that will do this to somebody, I mean, they don't have a soul. I can't be at peace until they help me, until somebody finds them and just makes this right.
Aisha tells me she's incredibly grateful to the hospital workers who helped save Fatima's life. She says now her youngest sister is on the road to recovery. She says she just started physical therapy yesterday.
Family has created a GoFundMe page to help pay for the funeral. We have a link to that in our story on 11alive.com. Police say 2 recent UGA graduates attacked outside of the Golden Pantry on Millage Avenue. Athens Clark County Police say 39-year-old Eric Mitchell attacked the 2 women as they were leaving the store last night. He was armed with a razor knife. Both women seriously injured, taken to the hospital. We do not know their names as of yet. Mitchell told police, here's his excuse, stress from COVID-19 was a factor in the unprovoked attacks. The Bureau of Investigation says a man who was shot by a DeKalb County police officer over the weekend expected to recover. The GBI says an officer shot 62-year-old Kenneth Howard after he pulled out a knife and charged toward the officer at the QT on North Decatur Road. The agency says it happened early Sunday morning when an officer told Howard to leave the area after an employee reported he was exposing himself outside. New video on an apartment complex fire from Sunday morning. This is Sierra Village Apartments on Oak Shadow Lane in Northeast. The Red Cross now helping the 41 people forced out of their homes. 1 person suffered minor burns. 2 firefighters were treated at Grady for heat exhaustion. The cause of this fire still under investigation. Coming up, several recent graduates at Lovett test positive for COVID-19. Now the state is looking into how they got it since school was out. We're bringing you all 3 hours of prime time on air and on the 11 Alive YouTube channel. You can subscribe and join the conversation in the community section. We've got more 11 Alive news in prime time after the break.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning.
There is now an investigation into a situation at the Lovett School near Buckhead. Several students tested positive for COVID-19. The state and Fulton County Board of Health are now looking into what happened at Lovett. Here's Joe Hankey.
The Lovett School not releasing information on how many students it knows of that recently tested positive for COVID-19. But in a new statement released to 11 Alive this morning, a school spokeswoman wrote, Lovett has been notified by several class of 2020 families that their graduates have tested positive for COVID-19. The statement continues to read, the notifications were made several days after a socially distanced drive-by senior parade occurred. An in-person graduation has been postponed to late July. The school has been made aware of several off-campus social gatherings, but has no information on any private events. Online, the Lovett School describes itself as an independent K-12 school and college preparatory institution for grades 6 through 12. Tuition for the upcoming school year listed at $30,800. A once public post on the social media app TikTok showed two girls, one wearing a Lovett sweatshirt, with the pair holding up positive COVID-19 test results. Appearing to joke about their results, the video's caption read, well, Corona isn't fake. The number of Lovett students testing positive for COVID-19 described by a Georgia Department of Public Health spokeswoman as a cluster. And by email, wrote 11 Alive saying DPH and the Fulton County Board of Health were notified by the Lovett School of students recently testing positive for COVID-19. The Fulton County Board of Health is awaiting the test results from the lab and the names of the students from Lovett. We will begin case interviews and contact tracing as soon as we have the necessary information.
And as the state and Fulton County investigate these cases, contact tracing will be key to learn who the students have recently come in contact with and who could have been at risk for infection. As for the video on TikTok, we reached out to the girl who posted the video. We've not heard back. And at this time, we are not showing the video, which once was public on the app, but no longer appears publicly.
Well, we have some showers and thunderstorms out there ruining some of these barbecues in some parts of town, like over here in northwest Atlanta up towards Kennesaw. Quite a bit of lightning right now. That's not too far from Lake Allatoona, so heads up if anyone is out there near the lake. We're seeing those thunderstorms move from the southeast to the northwest like they have all evening long. And there's kind of a line that stretches across East Cobb over into Roswell, into Gainesville, where we're seeing some heavy downpours just west of Lake Lanier right now, and also right along 85. We saw a lot of rain, and now that's pushed over towards 575. They'll be seeing that very soon. And over here near Six Flags, it seems like they have had numerous downpours throughout the day, and we're seeing another line move in towards Douglasville, forming along that outflow boundary here. So this is the pattern we're going to see, kind of a little different than we'd see on a normal summer's day, partly because we have an area of low pressure here in the northeastern Gulf, bringing in an easterly flow, and that's why these thunderstorms are moving in the direction that they're moving in. And you can see it here in the time lapse, looking out from 75 and 285, where the clouds have been moving from the southeast to the northwest, and that's where we're going to watch them all evening long. Looking out over Athens, they've had some heavy downpours, but they're in a little bit of a break. at this moment. Well, those temperatures, they definitely were impacted today. We ended up seeing 85 degrees after a morning low of 68. Should be around 82 and 63 this time of year. And we picked up almost 7/10 of an inch of rain so far this year. And we've had 14 inches so far this year. We've had 7/10 today since midnight. So evening showers and storms moving on in yet, and it'll be a little cooler as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday as that area of low pressure moves from the south to the north, and then unsettled as we head into the next week, each and every day through next weekend. So temperatures have been brought down where we've had the rain, like in Covington, 68 right now, 68 in Gainesville. Feels pretty good after those storms blow through. 79 in Canton, 70 in Carrollton, and 72 in LaGrange. And the next few hours we'll see the chance for thunderstorms, and then overnight we'll have those cloudy conditions. So we should see improving conditions during the overnight hours. So on our the next few hours, we're going to end up seeing that easterly flow continue. There'll still be some showers and storms moving from east to west, some with heavy downpours like we have seen, not lasting long, and then pushing off into Alabama as we head into the overnight. So we'll see those clouds moving on through, and then tomorrow afternoon again, still seeing that same pattern from east to west. And look at these heavy downpours during the middle of the afternoon. So Peachtree City, Covington could be seeing some heavy rain around 3:30, and then we'll just kind of rinse and repeat and do it all again on Wednesday. Widespread cloudiness, I think that's going to be a little bit different. We're going to see more in the way of cloudiness the next couple of days with that wedge pattern that is setting up. And there's that area of low pressure that we were talking about in the Gulf moving to the north, and that's going to be influencing our weather. Good news, it's not over the water, because then we could be worried about tropical development, but not this time around. So upper 60s tomorrow. We'll see temperatures right around 70 at lunchtime, and then low 70s during the afternoon. Not too bad at all. And here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We're calling for things to shape up like this. 30% chance on our Tuesday and Wednesday, 50% chance Thursday and Friday, a little better chance into the beginning of the weekend. And then it looks like we have a chance clear through next weekend, hopefully backing off once we get to next week. 20% chance on Monday.
All right, Samantha, thank you. Cameras may soon start rolling again on television shows and films in Georgia. The film industry is at the top of the economic industries for our state. Francesca Amaker is taking a look at the new rules.
Yeah, this is big news for our $9.5 billion entertainment industry right here in Georgia. Georgia becoming the first state to roll out these safety guidelines so that our crews can get back to work, thanks to Governor Brian Kemp. This was rolled out on Friday. Now, the governor calls it the best practices guide for Georgia. The recommendations require maintaining social distancing, temperature checks, and testing, limiting the number of people in each area to essential personnel only, and having a staff member on hand to make sure safety protocols are followed. Now, the recommendations also include talent wearing masks except when on camera, using a clear barrier between actors while establishing marks and positions, employing camera trickery to make actors appear closer together than they actually are, reducing the number of background performers when possible. And honestly, guys, the list goes on, and you can see that full list on 11alive.com/theacene.
COVID-19 deals a heavy blow to an already vulnerable group of people. Coming up, a first-hand look at the struggles of the homeless during a pandemic.
This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it?
How do you stay at home if you don't have a place to stay? More than 500,000 Americans are homeless as we fight COVID-19 in the United States. We spoke to people struggling with homelessness who feel so much is going against them.
If you are sick, no matter who you are, please stay home.
Just wear a mask. Wash your hands more often than you ever dreamed possible.
People should be staying at home. That's what we want.
Wash your hands frequently. And wear a mask if you're going to be within 6 feet of others. Stay at home.
It's a pretty big tent. I don't know if you can see inside or whatever, but
Please stay home.
there are people out here like myself that really try hard. Sorry. I was working 45, 50 hours a week at a job in Epicenter downtown. And the minute Governor Cooper said takeout only and no more dine-in, we all got furloughed. COVID-19 brought us all back to square one. It's just like these cards are stacked against us. You know, the harder we try, it seems like you take a step forward and you go 2 steps back.
An outbreak occurs among the homeless, it's going to spread like wildfire.
What you see behind my head is the underside of the top bunk, which is where I sleep, and my bed is about 8.5 feet away from somebody who tested positive. There's a shortage of PPE at the shelter, you know, and the city's not really coming through to make sure that shelters have enough PPE.
Yeah, thank you.
Linda? Yeah, wipes and gloves. Wipes and gloves. I got men's underwear and socks too, if you need any.
We've gone from feeding 600 people a week to 1,800. I think we've been sleeping maybe 4 to 6 hours a day since this pandemic started.
We're not all the bad people that people think we are. You know, we're not the drunk on the corner or the drug addict on underneath the bridge. You know, we want better, but there's nobody will help us. You know, I mean, affordable housing, that's it. That's it. Sorry. No, that's cool.
We have a list of how the federal government is helping the homeless population under the CARES Act of the 11 Alive app. Also, look for this story on the Scene on TV section. A big part of Memorial Day is the sales, but if you have been heading to the store, there are some changes you probably have already experienced. More on those coming up next. And sports have gotten the okay to gear back up, but Fulton County schools say not so fast, my friend, while the district is waiting a little bit longer.
On WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both.
Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11.
Memorial Day shoppers trying to get in on some sales now that some stores are opening back up. But shopping is going to look different. Whether it's retail or grocery stores, they're taking measures to keep people safe. Here is NBC's Vicki Wynn with more.
Safety first in stores. That's the goal this week as hundreds more open across America. Tech giant Apple reopens 25 stores across half a dozen states. While some will only allow curbside pickup, others will allow in-store shopping with social distancing and cleanliness in mind. Customers will also have to wear masks, submit to temperature checks at the door, and answer health-related questions as part of a screening process for COVID-19 symptoms. Nordstrom has already reopened about 35 stores across the South, with more locations to follow. Under its new guidelines, the retailer will quarantine returned items for at least 24 hours and make sure customers know the rules as soon as they enter.
What we found in the stores that we have open is the most important person is that greeter at the door who explains to the customer what's going on, what they can expect, and we found that that's a really critical part of the customer experience.
The world's largest mall operator, Simon, announcing it will provide masks and hand sanitizer to shoppers.
They need to promote physical distancing and crowd control, mask usage within their store. They need to have hand sanitizer or wipes available. They need to ramp up cleaning and disinfecting practices, and they need to communicate. They need easy to read signs everywhere.
And grocery stores are making changes too. Shoppers at the nation's largest grocery chain, Kroger, will hear this.
Maintain a distance of 6 feet, approximately 2 cart lengths, from others when possible.
Kroger CEO Rodney McMullen said the company spent more than $700 million to increase wages, add safety measures, and improve technology for online orders and deliveries.
Early on, we started being in contact with retailers in China, Italy, Hong Kong, Singapore, and we started putting together what are the things that we need to do to keep our associates safe and our customers safe.
Behind the scenes, overhead cameras and sensors will count how many customers are in the store. The company shared its 48-page coronavirus blueprint online to help other businesses safely reopen with best practices for cleaning, curbside pickup, and emergency sick leave policies that encourage workers to stay home at the first sign of illness.
Sometimes it's good to put it out there so that everyone can benefit from this knowledge, and it sounds like that's what y'all are trying to do.
Anything that we can do to help get America back up and operating is something good for all of us.
And expect more options for a no-contact shopping experience. We first showed you this smart cart in February. Scan your items, and when it's time to check out, tap your credit card.
Enjoy your bananas.
Take care.
No need to wait in a busy checkout line. The company that makes it says it's seen a spike in demand since the pandemic. Analytics company SAS developed this heat mapping technology businesses can use to monitor room capacity and identify high-touch areas that may require more frequent cleaning. But with no federal mandates on how stores reopen, experts say shoppers should use their discretion about where to spend.
If you see a store that's not requiring masks, that doesn't have hand sanitizer, would you go in?
I personally would not go in. To me, that's a sign that they're not taking it seriously and they're needlessly putting people at risk.
Dr. Gosch gave a few more tips. Avoid elevators. It's basically impossible to maintain social distance there. So take the stairs or escalator instead. Don't touch the railings. Keep your hands away from your face. Carry hand sanitizer in case you can't find a spot to wash your hands.
Well, your 11 Alive storm trackers are tracking a line of storms, and we still have some firing up with some lightning here, stretching from Rome all the way over into North Fulton and then into the North Georgia mountains as well. So the strongest of the downpours, the heaviest of the downpours now heading in towards Floyd County and then across Cherokee County. We've had several strikes of lightning in the past few minutes there. Heavy downpours with these as well, but they come in and then they move out very quickly from the southeast to the northwest, and this stretches on up into Mossy Creek as well. And then here on the west side, we had those that came through town and then started to kind of re-energize once they got near Douglasville. So we're going to continue to watch this as they move from the southeast to the northwest, and some impressive time-lapse video. It looks nice and fair with those cumulus clouds at first, but then I don't know if I can hang here long enough, but we end up seeing well, we see a bug, but we end up seeing, look at this downpour, just moving on in, temperatures dropping by some 10 degrees, and then in comes another one. So quite a night. Look at that. So coming up, we'll time out the rest of the evening and let you know what to expect the next few days.
Rumors are circulating online that the new EIP debit card sent to 4 million Americans will allow the federal government to track your transactions. Is that true? Our Verified team looking into that for you tonight.
The Verified team is here to break down rumors spreading online, and there's been no shortage of misinformation about those stimulus checks which were sent to millions of Americans. Maybe you saw news stories about the latest development. The Treasury is sending debit cards to millions of Americans instead of paper checks. That prompted posts like this, people claiming that this will allow the government to track how you spend the money. So let's verify. Can the government track your transactions if you use these debit cards? First, let's get some background. In a recent press release, the Treasury announced that they were sending out nearly 4 million of these debit cards. It's for Americans who qualify for the payments but do not have their bank info on file with the IRS. And once you receive one of these cards, you could basically do whatever you want with them. Use the card at a store, transfer funds to a personal account, even cash out at an ATM. But let's get to the big question here. Can the feds actually track your purchases? Well, first off, we should point out that the Treasury Department isn't actually managing the cards. That's done by MetaBank, a private company that acts as the financial agent for the Treasury. And that's when we need to talk about the Right to Financial Privacy Act. On the MetaBank website, they say this law prohibits them from giving your info to the feds without written permission, except under very limited circumstances. So we can verify, no, the Treasury is unable to track your purchases if you use these debit cards, because that would break the law. With your Verify, this is Evan Kozloff.
If you have something you'd like us to verify, send us an email or verify@11alive.com. Last week, we reported high school athletes can voluntarily begin workouts on June 8th. Even though the GHSA gave the green light for these workouts, Fulton County schools will take another week to return. Maria Martin tells us why they are waiting a little bit longer.
Last week, the GHSA announced voluntary workouts could begin on June 8th in the state of Georgia. Fulton County, however, isn't going back just yet.
You guys are going to wait until the 15th. What went into that decision to hold off?
At the end of the day, we wanted to make sure that we had our plans in place to where we could provide the safest environment for our staff and our students.
Like everything else right now, this is a slow and phased reopening.
We're only going to bring back the fall sports to start with. It's all about just making sure that we're comfortable with what the situation we're going to put our coaches and our student athletes in when we bring them back on the 15th.
Schools could add more safety measures on top of the list that the GHSA sent out, and that's exactly what Fulton County Athletic Director Stephen Kraft is doing.
I can tell you that our coaches will be required to wear masks. There's questionnaires and questions that we're going to ask our kids each day. And, you know, we have made the decision that we are going to do temperature checks for our students.
Even though it's voluntary workouts, there's no footballs being thrown around. Do you get a sense of excitement from them?
Absolutely. I had a lot of them talk about, you know, it's almost like Christmas morning at this point for them.
While this is far from a full-blown football practice, it is a step in the right direction.
We're going to take it slow and steady.
Go team long one!
But I do think this is a step in the right direction to where we can resume athletics in the fall.
We hear the phrase often, when this is over, but few of us know what the end of the pandemic looks like. Next, what history can tell us about getting back to all things normal.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Certainly here all the time. People are waiting to get things back to normal again once COVID is over. But what exactly does over mean? 11 Alive's Matt Pearl spoke with historians and a futurist to get their take on how our lives might look by taking a look at the past.
We do think about what it's like when societies turn on a dime. This is an historic moment suddenly, and we're historians. I am professor of history.
I teach history of American law.
I'm Doug Noonan. I'm a professor of public and environmental affairs.
I'm a professor at the University of Toronto.
I am a quantitative futurist. My job is simply about making connections so that we can confront uncertainty head on.
The history of our country and the history of peoples throughout the world is that you absorb.
People think we'll Zoom forever, or that school will be remote forever.
Usually these communities bounce back, and they bounce back to remarkably similar form to what they were before.
Look at 9/11. We got Homeland Security and TSA, but not that much changed.
We're always looking up over the next horizon. We're forward-looking people.
What followed the 1918 pandemic? The Roaring 20s. It was like a big party on steroids.
There were efforts to improve public health. The Depression created an effort to build a social safety net. You just do see societies reknitting themselves.
This kind of shock is, I think, likely to accelerate changes that were actually already happening.
There will be more emphasis on using technology. There will be changes in how office buildings are set up. The gig economy will be reviewed, and the idea, does it make sense?
Often there's a sort of a fusion of cultural expression and art. There's these wonderful sort of artistic, like symphonies that are all performing in their little Zoom boxes. Art's gonna art, right?
At the end of the day, this will pass too. And I think we'll rebound.
We're in a slippery situation right now, and we cannot collectively slam our foot on the brakes. We have to be willing to steer into the slide.
Well, what a Memorial Day it was. We've seen so much storm activity. Our storm trackers have been very busy chronicling this information and showing these storms move on in. We're looking at that line now moving up to the north, and it looks like the lightning is fading a bit here, so that's some good news, but still some heavy downpours stretching from Rome across into Murrayville and then on up towards Clayton, and still numerous showers here across the Atlanta area, but much, much lighter than they were just even about 45 minutes ago. So you can see we had lightning as this crossed over Canton, over 575 near Lake Allatoona, and then over into Rome. We had these showers here that moved through Atlanta and then re-intensified as they went right over the 285 loop on the west side and then started to weaken. So that's been the nature of these storms today. They just blow up really quickly, drop a lot of rain, and then they just kind of fizzle out. Now we're going to continue with this pattern as we head into the next couple of days as this low pressure system that's in the northeastern Gulf continues to send in an easterly flow here, and that'll fuel more showers and storms as we head into our Tuesday and Wednesday, but it'll be a little cooler in terms of the temperature. So looking out over the city of Atlanta as those storms moved in, and pretty impressive stuff from the southeast to the northwest. Normally we would have storms move from the northwest to the southeast, but you can see there goes a big cloud burst there, brought in some cooling rain, and then another one right behind it. So that kind of dampened some barbecues, I'm sure, happening during the dinner hour here on this Memorial Day. And a really nice, beautiful tribute on Lake Lanier this weekend as Tommy Meyer took this picture of the sunset and the American flag, and the water is just absolutely beautiful, and the colors just amazing at sunset. So temperatures today, we're on the hot side, hot and humid, and that helped fuel some of these thunderstorms. 85 was our high here in Atlanta, 86 in Athens, 86 in Canton, 81 in Gainesville. So temperatures down a little bit from where we were over the weekend by just a smidgen, just a couple of degrees. And then once the rain moved in, look how our temperature just dropped by 10 degrees, went from 84 to 74 in between 6 6 and 7 o'clock. So now it's pretty nice out there. Temperatures running as much as 12 degrees cooler than we were at this time yesterday in Athens, 10 degrees cooler in Gainesville with that rain-cooled air moving in on those nice breezes. So we'll still see some evening showers and storms, but they will taper off in the next couple of hours. Slightly cool on our Tuesday, so temperatures going downward and unsettled all week long. Right now we're at 72 in Atlanta and Marietta, 77 in Canton, and 81 in Dalton. So the next 12 hours we'll have a chance for a few showers and storms, and then things should taper off after midnight here, and we'll end up seeing them come back at us again tomorrow, although it looks like they may not be quite as numerous with the cooler air mass, but lots of cloud cover. We're going to see widespread overcast for much of the day, and that's due in part to that easterly flow that is now entrenched. That's what brought in these showers and storms this evening. So we're going to continue to see those move off to the northwest, and then we'll end up seeing a few showers tomorrow morning. It'll be kind of that light drizzly showers, not so much concerned about thunderstorms tomorrow morning, and then maybe a few storms popping in the afternoon on a Tuesday afternoon, and then we'll watch that low move to the north, bringing in that northeasterly flow. So that's going to keep us a little on the cool side the next couple of days, and kind of a nice little cooling though. 30% chance of rain Tuesday, Wednesday, temperatures in the upper 70s. And then as we get into Thursday, Friday, temperatures get back in the 80s. 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, heat of the day variety, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it looks like that's going to be hanging with us clear through the weekend. We'll be right back after the short break.
To help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people?
This is a day to honor the fallen over many generations. We think of their loved ones who grieve. They made sacrifices too, and we are always in their debt. Here is Cheryl Preheim.
It's a place that exposes our gratitude with a soundtrack that stirs our soul. The men and women here served their country with honor. Many knew firsthand what it was like to face the enemy. Many died on battlefields in faraway places. Some fought in wars long ago and far away. Wars that changed the world and changed their lives. So many wars for so many reasons. Wars far behind us, and some not all that long ago. So many lives lost. So as we think about them on this Memorial Day, it's important to also realize the most recent war, the one that's still going on. The one against a faceless enemy. It's being fought at veterans' hospitals and community living centers in Georgia and across the country. The VA reports more than 1,000 veterans at its facilities have died from COVID-19. We know how brave our veterans are. We know how skilled they can be at facing a brutal enemy. But this battle rages not on the front lines, but in the rooms and halls of medical facilities where their families are not even allowed right now. Even for the bravest, it's a difficult war to wage. As we hear the music and believe what it stands for, let's pause to thank and appreciate all who sacrificed for us. Especially now, as the most silent war goes on.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick.
When students go back to school in the months ahead, experts are worried that they will be behind their grade level. Teachers say summer learning loss happens every year. This year, they say it may happen more because of the months of virtual learning. Amelia Young explains how to help with or without computer access.
Staying on track is key. That's according to April Myers with Anderson County Schools. Research shows missed school means missed learning.
Without educational opportunities over those summer months, we can see as much as a year of loss.
Students have been learning virtually for months. Myers says it's critical to continue that through summer.
Socially, academically, it's going to be a big leap, I think, once we get back into the classroom.
As little as 20 to 30 minutes a day can make a huge impact.
It's going to help them stay on track, stay on grade level.
Anderson County students have summer guides with topics to review and prepare for in English, math, science, and social studies using online material. For families that don't have that option,
summer learning loss is a big focus for us.
Boys and Girls Clubs are offering Tennessee Tutoring Corps, a program that employs college students to help rising kindergarten through 6th graders in reading and math.
They can come into our clubs and receive that when they normally would be able to get that at home.
Myers says libraries offer a vast amount of opportunities for learning. Even writing in a journal about their day can help combat the learning loss too.
And that's really going to help. Students feel more comfortable when they come back in.
Now that families are accustomed to helping their kids at home, continuing that for 2 more months can make a huge difference.
Still to come on Primetime, a class trip and graduation get-together leads to a new cluster of coronavirus cases among teens at one metro school. What we're learning about how it all happened.
A long holiday weekend and crowds anxious to escape their homes, how some usually packed public spaces are dealing with Memorial Day visitors.
And people across the state pausing to reflect and remember those men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice to protect our nation.
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
The meaning of Memorial Day has not changed, even as COVID-19 has changed some of the ways we can honor this day.
People paying their respects and staying socially distant in McDonough. Jim Houston, one of dozens of buglers taking part in taps across America, all playing at 3 p.m. for the national moment of remembrance. And in Loganville, a smaller turnout in the years past, perhaps, but a wreath ceremony still a poignant reminder of American lives lost.
For many, Memorial Day also means a time to gather with family and friends. We have seen people maintaining their distance, but also received several photos like this into our newsroom. Big groups of people shrugging off health department requests to stay apart and wear a mask, instead crowding into restaurants and parks. But as Tracy Pierre found, that's not the case everywhere.
It's been actually way less people than we thought it would be.
Milton Grant says today is the first time they've taken out their kayaks all year, and he's surprised that parking near the Chattahoochee River wasn't harder. But he says they feel safe from catching COVID-19.
Everybody is like 6 feet away from everybody else, so I don't see a problem, you know, if you can get out and social distance getting out.
Along the river, the covered picnic tables were closed and taped off, as were the playground areas. But other families were using the tables that were far apart. Jack and Eve Reeves were walking along the river rather than paddling on it, but also say people were keeping a safe distance.
I have 2 masks in my purse if I was to get into a situation that I thought I needed them, but outside in the open air, I thought we were fine.
Everybody, for the most part, is keeping, at least 6 feet, 10 feet away.
Even at a local private pool, they're opening up for the start of summer, but with extra safety measures in place.
Stand still.
Like checking the temperature of everyone before they can even enter the gate, having everyone sign a waiver, spacing chairs on the deck 6 feet apart between families, and limiting the number overall by an online reservation system. And the DJ on Memorial Day was on hand, reminding everyone to keep it safe.
Thank you for helping our staff maintain those social distancing guidelines so we can keep all our members as well as our staff safe.
The Department of Justice is now investigating the shooting death of Ahmad Arbery in South Georgia. Arbery was shot and killed while running through a Brunswick neighborhood. Gregory and Travis McMichael are facing charges of felony murder, as is William Roddy Bryant, who recorded the deadly encounter. Now, Arbery's family attorney, Lee Merritt, confirmed with 11 Alive that the family was notified by the Department of Justice about their investigation, which also includes the actions of the 2 district attorneys who recused themselves from the case. 11 Alive's Chanu Her has more.
The attorney for Ahmad Arbery's family says they give a lot of credit to the DOJ and the GBI for all the progress made over the last few days. The attorney for Ahmad Arbery's family says the last few days have been full of updates. The latest news, Lee Merritt says, comes as a big relief for the family after meeting with the Department of Justice and the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District, Bobby Christine.
There's a criminal and civil investigation ongoing involving not only the men who murdered Ahmad Arbery, but the state agents who may have participated or conspired in some other way.
Those state agents, Merritt says, include 2 DAs, Brunswick DA Jackie Johnson and Waycross DA George Barnhill. Both chose not to arrest Travis and Gregory McMichael after the shooting and then recused themselves from the case. Merritt says another big piece, the DOJ is also investigating the shooting as a hate crime. Getting to this point, Merritt says, is a big step for Arbery's parents.
Everyone has been very supportive. Everyone has been very focused on investigating the entirety of the claim. This has been in sharp contrast to what Wanda Cooper and Marcus Arbery had experienced prior to that tape going public.
Merritt says they weren't told whether charges were coming soon, but having the federal government look into the agencies involved addressed major concerns Arbery's family has.
But we were given assurance that was being looked into, and that was a major concern for Wanda Cooper.
Merritt says that criminal and civil investigation into the state agencies includes the police.
We're still watching showers and storms working their way across the Atlanta area and into northwest Georgia at this hour. They've been marching from the southeast to the northwest as we saw that wedge pattern set up today. So now the heaviest rain is here, stretching from Floyd County over into Rabun County. So we're still seeing some heavy downpours there, particularly here near 75, where we've had some lightning in the past 15 minutes, but not as much lightning as we saw over the weekend. Not those huge lightning shows that started Friday and then into Saturday and Sunday, but still some very heavy downpours and some gusty winds as these move on in. And then the gust front that comes out of them actually causes some more storms to form along that boundary, that outflow boundary. So we're looking at just a few showers left here in Dallas, stretching over into Cobb County, over towards East Cobb, and then we're looking at still some storms here along 85. But I think the trend the next few hours will be for these to continue their movement to the north, cross over the Tennessee line, and then that easterly flow is going to continue to bring in some moisture, so we'll still see some intermittent showers overnight. Not as many strong, heavy downpours, although there still may be an isolated downpour here near 85 north of Athens in the middle of the night, so we can't totally rule that out, but I think it'll lighten up during the overnight hours, and then we'll start out with quite a few clouds and a little bit of light rain as we head out the door early on our Tuesday. So coming up, we'll let you know how the rest of our week is going to shape up.
All right, Sam, we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Fulton County and the state are now investigating a cluster of COVID-19 cases involving recent graduates from a private school near Buckhead. So the question here tonight, folks, is when were all these students together and why the state shut down the schools now? 11 Alive Joe Henke has the latest on the investigation.
The number of Lovett students who have recently tested positive for COVID-19 described by the Georgia Department of Public Health as a cluster. And a spokeswoman by email wrote 11 Alive saying DPH and the Fulton County Board of Health were notified by the Lovett School of students recently testing positive for COVID-19. The Fulton County Board of Health is awaiting the test results from the lab and the names of the students from Lovett. We will begin case interviews and contact tracing as soon as we have the necessary information. Health officials not able to confirm yet how or where the students may have become infected or the total number of infected students. But in a news statement released to 11 Alive this morning, a Lovett school spokeswoman wrote saying Lovett has been notified by several class of 2020 families that their graduates have tested positive for COVID-19. The statement continues to read, the notifications are made several days after a socially distanced drive-by senior parade occurred, and in-person graduation has been postponed to late July. The school has been made aware of several off-campus social gatherings, but has no information on any private events.
So here's what's next. Both the State Department of Public Health and the Fulton County Board of Health say they have now shared information with the school about who should be quarantined or who should quarantine themselves and the symptoms to look out for. And a spokesperson with Fulton County says they're urging anyone in connection with these cases to be tested immediately.
11 Alive is committed to helping make sure that you have the most up-to-date information concerning COVID-19, and that includes working to make sense of Georgia's complicated data. So let's start with new cases as we see Georgia's average tick up. There are a couple of reasons for this. Most people are getting tested, or rather more people are getting tested, plus people are also starting to become more mobile. They're interacting with one another more. Experts tell us that those factors help explain the reason that we're seeing more cases right now. Let's move on to the number of people who are in the hospital right now. This information is the closest to real time that we have. These are the most severe cases, the ones that require serious medical attention. And we continue to see this number go down from 1,500 at the beginning of the month to 848 today. It seems like that drop, though, is starting to slow down a bit here. As far as deaths are concerned, we saw a big jump late last week. 3 deaths reported on Saturday and 16 on Sunday. Now, there may be a good reason for that. It's a holiday weekend, and reporting typically slows on the weekends. Nearly every drop that you see on this graph marks a weekend. We recently learned Georgia's youngest victim of COVID-19 is a 17-year-old boy from Fulton County. The Georgia Department of Health says he did have a chronic illness. At least 9 other people under the age of 30 have also died from the virus here in Georgia. At least 3 had other health issues.
One lady in Metro Atlanta wants justice for her 35-year-old sister. She was shot and killed during an argument in Southwest Atlanta on Friday. She spoke to our Elwin Lopez today.
Not only did Aisha lose one of her sisters, but she was also at risk of losing her youngest sister, who was also shot during that argument and is still in the hospital today.
Life is just so fragile. You don't realize it until something gets taken away from you so close to you.
35-year-old Shadia Melton was just 18 months older than her sister Aisha Jefferson.
She was so intelligent and bright and giving and just gifted.
On Friday, officers were called to Fairburn Road in Southwest Atlanta around 8:30 p.m. There, they found 2 women with multiple gunshot wounds. One of them was Shadia. The other one was her sister Fatima. Shadia didn't make it, but her sister did.
Fatima is recovering. She's fighting for her life. She was shot in the main artery.
Atlanta police say there is a suspect, but have not disclosed a name yet, and no arrests have been made in connection to the shooting. Aisha says all she wants now is justice for both of her sisters.
Anybody that will do this to somebody, I mean, they don't have a soul. I can't be at peace until they help me, until somebody finds them and just makes this right.
Aisha tells me she's incredibly grateful to the hospital workers who helped save Fatima's life. She says now her youngest sister is on the road to recovery. She says she just started physical therapy yesterday.
You know, the family has created a GoFundMe page to help pay for the funeral. We have a link to that story on our website at 11alive.com.
Police say 2 recent University of Georgia graduates were attacked outside of the Golden Pantry on Millage Avenue. Athens Clark County Police say 39-year-old Eric Mitchell attacked the 2 women as they were leaving the store last night. They say he was armed with a razor knife. Both women were seriously injured and had to be taken to the hospital. Mitchell told police that stress from COVID-19 concerns was a factor in the unprovoked attacks. And the Georgia Bureau of Investigation says a man who was shot by a DeKalb County police officer over the weekend is expected to recover. The GBI says an officer shot 62-year-old Kenneth Howard after he pulled out a knife and charged towards the officer at the Quick Trip on North Decatur Road. The agency says it happened early Sunday morning when an officer told Howard to leave the area after an employee reported he was outside with his pants down. A new video of an apartment complex fire Sunday morning. This is the Sierra Village Apartments on Oak Shadow Lane Northeast. The Red Cross is now helping the 41 people forced out of their homes. 1 person suffered minor burns and 2 firefighters were treated at Grady Hospital for heat exhaustion. The cause of that fire is under investigation.
Coming up, the plan in place to get Georgia's film industry back up and running with safety in mind.
And we are bringing you all 3 hours of Primetime on air and on the 11 Alive YouTube channel. Remember, you can subscribe and join the conversation in the community section. There's more 11 Alive news and Primetime after this break.
Channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your
Welcome back, everyone. Memorial Day weekend during a pandemic. This is a new experience for all of us, of course. The State Health Department is now pleading with people to keep social distancing and wearing masks. That's a priority, but it's not always happening. 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks, and Caitlin Ross has your thoughts.
We've heard from hundreds of people, and a lot of them feel really strongly about this. Whether they're back out and about full-time or still keeping a really strict quarantine, we heard from people all over about defending their decisions. Amber said social distancing did what it was designed to do, and now it's time to get back to normal. But Joy felt like people were taking advantage of the fact that some of the restrictions have eased. This isn't shocking, she says. When people are given an inch, they're going to take a full mile. She says she's not going to risk it herself. Laura says nothing has changed for her family, but they are being respectful of other people. My husband and I have worked this entire time, and now that things are opening up, we've been going out every day. We go to the park, out to eat, shopping. We were never really quarantined to begin with. We don't wear masks, but we do respect the 6-foot rule. The governor is still asking people to gather using social distancing guidelines, and the Georgia State Parks Division is limiting access to some of its more popular sites. They have an alert on their homepage telling people if it gets too crowded, they actually have to restrict access for a few hours so people can maintain those social distancing guidelines.
Caitlin, some access to Georgia parks was closed off today.
Yeah, I've been monitoring the page all day, and today they actually slowed access to Red Top Mountain and Wormslow Historic Site because too many people showed up at a time, so they wanted to make sure they were giving people enough space to move around when they went to those sites.
All right, we have more on 11alive.com. Caitlin, thanks a lot.
Well, we have the showers and storms still going across North Georgia, although they're starting to taper off. We had some very heavy rain that moved through. Not as much lightning as the last few days, but we definitely saw some heavy downpours, some gusty winds. These storms blew right through Atlanta. We kind of had two lines move through, and now they're starting to weaken. We'll still see a few showers out there, but not nearly as heavy as they were earlier as they start to kind of weaken over Dallas and north of Villa Rica. And the heaviest downpours here around Rome, stretching back up towards Murrayville. And for the most part, I think we're going to see improving conditions as things start to quiet down overnight. But we're still going to stay unsettled the next few days as low pressure is here over the northeastern Gulf, and that's going to continue to bring in some moisture. And I think we're going to be quite cloudy and will be cooler as we head into our Tuesday and Wednesday. Really great video, time-lapse video of the storms moving in, those two lines that just swept through town, dropped our temperatures by 10 degrees as it moved on in. So kind of nice cooling relief. And boy, have we had some incredible storm tracker pictures. Bill Hanea over the weekend took this picture of this double rainbow, and it's just so colorful. Just can't get enough of this one. So we're looking at those temperatures today that were definitely cooler. Oh, here's the video of the storms as they moved in to Atlanta. And this is Carol Simmons. She showed us as these storms just darkened the sky, and then you can just see how much convection is in the atmosphere. All that lift, and then everything started to shake. There's her hummingbird feeder kind of shimmying as the wind just blew on through, and that was the cooler air rushing out of the bottom of that thunderstorm. Thank you, Carol, for posting that. So we ended up at 85 degrees, and then those temperatures rapidly dropped down as that cool air moved on in. So 85 was our high, 68 our low. We should be around 82 and 63 this time of year. Picked up over a half an inch of rain since midnight, about 7/10 of an inch of rain, and we still have a 14-inch surplus in the bucket. So our temperatures right now ranging from the upper 60s in Atlanta and Covington and in Gainesville. But you know, it's still 81 in Dalton because they haven't had the rain that everyone else has. So they're still very, very warm. So our storms are going to taper off to showers overnight. We'll see slightly cooler temperatures on Tuesday and Wednesday. And we're going to remain heated with the heat of the day storms every day. So that means unsettled Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, although I think we'll have an uptick in activity towards the end of the week as we start to heat it up again. So the next several hours, we'll see a few showers left and then mainly overcast skies with some light shower activity. And the same thing as we head into tomorrow, quite widespread overcast as you head out the door, and temperatures running a little bit cooler than we were today. So we should be in the mid to upper 70s for much of the day. Not much sunshine if you're trying to get some of that vitamin D. So we're looking at the storms still popping a little bit across North Georgia the next hour or two, and then we should start to see those improving conditions. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We're calling for a 30% chance of showers and storms as we head into our Tuesday and into Wednesday, a 50% chance on Thursday and Friday and Saturday as our temperatures start to go back up. So will our coverage of showers and thunderstorms. We are definitely in the heat of the day thunderstorm summertime pattern now that it is the unofficial start of summer and we can wear white shoes and all that stuff. And this continues in through the weekend, and then it looks like those rain chances go down once we get to the beginning of next week.
All right, well, cameras should start rolling once again on TV shows and films here in Georgia. The film industry is one of the top economic industries for our state. Francesca Amaker is taking a look at some new rules.
Yeah, this is big news for our $9.5 billion entertainment industry right here in Georgia. Georgia becoming the first state to roll out these safety guidelines so that our crews can get back to work, thanks to Governor Brian Kemp. This was rolled out on Friday. Now, the governor calls it the best practices guide for Georgia. The recommendations require maintaining social distancing, temperature checks, and testing, limiting the number of people in each area to essential personnel only, and having a staff member on hand to make sure safety protocols are followed. Now, the recommendations also include talent wearing masks except when on camera, using a clear barrier between actors while establishing marks and positions, employing camera trickery to make actors appear closer together than they actually are, reducing the number of background performers when possible. And honestly, guys, the list goes on, and you can see that full list on 11alive.com/theacene.
Well, the coronavirus deals a heavy blow to an already vulnerable group of people. Coming up, a first-hand look at the struggles of being homeless during a pandemic.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
You stay home if you don't have a place to stay. More than 500,000 Americans are homeless as our country fights the COVID-19 outbreak. We spoke with people struggling with homelessness who feel the cards are stacked against them.
If you are sick, no matter who you are, please stay home.
Just wear a mask. Wash your hands more often than you ever dreamed possible.
People should be staying at home. That's what we want.
Wash your hands frequently.
And wear a mask if you're going to be within 6 feet of others. Stay at home.
It's a pretty big tent. Don't know if you can see inside or whatever, but
please stay home.
There are people out here like myself that really try hard. Sorry. I was working 45, 50 hours a week at a job in Epicenter downtown. And the minute Governor Cooper said takeout only and no more dine-in, we all got furloughed. COVID-19 brought us all back to square one. It's just like these cards are stacked against us. You know, the harder we try, it seems like you take a step forward and you go 2 steps back.
Outbreak occurs among the homeless, it's going to spread like wildfire.
What you see behind my head is the underside of the top bunk, which is where I sleep, and my bed is about 8.5 feet away from somebody who tested positive. There's a shortage of PPE at the shelter, you know, and the city's not really coming through to make sure that shelters have enough PPE.
Yeah, thank you.
Linda? Yeah, wipes and gloves. Wipes and gloves. I got men's underwear and socks too, if you need any.
We We've gone from feeding 600 people a week to 1,800. I think we've been sleeping maybe 4 to 6 hours a day since this pandemic started.
We're not all the bad people that people think we are. You know, we're not the drunk on the corner or the drug addict on underneath the bridge. You know, we want better, but nobody will help us. You know, I mean, affordable housing, that's it. That's it. Sorry. No, that's cool.
We have a list on how the federal government is helping the homeless population under the CARES Act. You can find it right now in the 11 Live app in the As Seen on TV section. Ahead in Primetime, if you are still looking around for some Memorial Day sales, we'll tell you about some changes you should know about.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had...
Well, now that some stores are starting to open back up, Memorial Day shoppers are trying to get in on some of those sales, but shopping is going to look different. Whether it's retail or groceries, stores are taking several measures to keep people safe. NBC's Vicki Nguyen has more.
Safety first in stores. That's the goal this week as hundreds more open across America. Tech giant Apple reopens 25 stores across half a dozen states. While some will only allow curbside pickup, others will allow in-store shopping with social distancing and cleanliness in mind. Customers will also have to wear masks, submit to temperature checks at the door, and answer health-related questions as part of a screening process for COVID-19 symptoms. Nordstrom has already reopened about 35 stores across the South, with more locations to follow. Under its new guidelines, the retailer will quarantine returned items for at least 24 hours and make sure customers know the rules as soon as they enter.
What we found in the stores that we have open is the most important person is that greeter at the door who explains to the customer what's going on, what they can expect. And we found that that's a really critical part of the customer experience.
The world's largest mall operator, Simon, announcing it will provide masks and hand sanitizer to shoppers.
They need to promote physical distancing and crowd control, mask usage within their store. They need to have hand sanitizer or wipes available. They need to ramp up cleaning and disinfecting practices, and they need to communicate. They need easy to read signs everywhere.
And grocery stores are making changes too. Shoppers at the nation's largest grocery chain, Kroger, will hear this.
Maintain a distance of 6 feet, approximately 2 cart lengths, from others when possible.
Kroger CEO Rodney McMullen said the company spent more than $700 million to increase wages, add safety measures, and improve technology for online orders and deliveries.
Early on, we started being in contact with retailers in China, Italy, Hong Kong, Singapore, and we started putting together what are the things that we need to do to keep our associates safe and our customers safe.
Behind the scenes, overhead cameras and sensors will count how many customers are in the store. The company shared its 48-page coronavirus blueprint online to help other businesses safely reopen with best practices for cleaning, curbside pickup, and emergency sick leave policies that encourage workers to stay home at the first sign of illness.
Sometimes it's good to put it out there so that everyone can benefit from this knowledge, and it sounds like that's what y'all are trying to do.
Anything that we can do to help get America back up and operating is something good for all of us.
And expect more options for a no-contact shopping experience. We first showed you this smart cart in February. Scan your items, and when it's time to check out, tap your credit card.
Enjoy your bananas.
Take care.
No need to wait in a busy checkout line. The company that makes it says it's seen a spike in demand since the pandemic. Analytics company SAS developed this heat mapping technology businesses can use to monitor room capacity and identify high-touch areas that may require more frequent cleaning. But with no federal mandates on how stores reopen, experts say shoppers should use their discretion about where to spend.
If you see a store that's not requiring masks, that doesn't have hand sanitizer, would you go in?
I personally would not go in. To me, that's a sign that they're not taking it seriously and they're needlessly putting people at risk.
Well, doctors gave some extra shopping tips. Avoid elevators. It's basically impossible to maintain that social distance, so take the stairs or the escalator instead. You also want to avoid touching railings and your face. And finally, carry that hand sanitizer with you in case you can't find a spot to wash your hands.
Well, we're watching those showers and storms starting to kind of wind down here. We still have some decent downpours in Floyd County stretching across 75. That's probably where it's raining the hardest right now. And then it becomes more showery behind this. I think as temperatures cool, we'll continue to see just some light kind of nuisance showers out there. But we're not seeing the heavy downpours that we saw that just came sweeping through during the heat of the day and then brought in quite a bit of cooling. So things have definitely weakened quite a bit. So we do have some decent downpours here just north of Rome, stretching back towards Adairsville and north of Canton. Here's a live look at downtown Rome right now. You can see that the streets are wet and there's still some rain kind of falling from the street lights. That's kind of an indication that there is still some active rain there in downtown Rome. So that's going to continue to move on through from the southeast to the northwest as we head into the next few hours, and then it should start to really weaken overnight, and we'll just end up seeing just a few light showers overnight and into the first part of tomorrow. But we will see widespread cloud coverage out here as we head into the overnight hours. So temperatures were hot today, and then we dropped some 10 degrees down after that rain moved on through. So it definitely feels really nice out there at the moment. We did hit 85, and we should be around 82, so we were some 3 degrees above average. And now we're looking at 69 in Atlanta, 68 in Covington and in Canton, and 68 in Gainesville, where that rain-cooled air is now settling in for a beautiful evening. So coming up, we'll talk about when you can expect the rain tomorrow and all the days to come this week.
Last week, we reported high school athletes can begin voluntary workouts on June 8th. But even though the GHSA has given the green light for these workouts, Fulton County schools will take another week to return. Our Maria Martin has the details on why they're waiting a little longer.
Last week, the GHSA announced voluntary workouts could begin on June 8th in the state of Georgia. Fulton County, however, isn't going back just yet.
You guys are going to wait until the 15th. What went into that decision to hold off?
At the end of the day, we wanted to make sure that we had our plans in place to where we could provide the safest environment for our staff and our students.
Like everything else right now, this is a slow and phased reopening.
We're only going to bring back the fall sports to start with. It's all about just making sure that we're comfortable with what the situation we're going to put our coaches and our student athletes in when we bring them back on the 15th.
Schools could add more safety measures on top of the list that the GHSA sent out, and that's exactly what Fulton County Athletic Director Stephen Kraft is doing.
I can tell you that our coaches will be required to wear masks. There's questionnaires and questions that we're going to ask our kids each day. And, you know, we have made the decision that we are going to do temperature checks for our students.
Even though it's voluntary workouts, there's no footballs being thrown around. Do you get a sense of excitement from them?
Absolutely. I had a lot of them talk about, you know, it's almost like Christmas morning at this point for them.
While this is far from a full-blown football practice, it is a step in the right direction.
We're going to take it slow and steady.
Go Team 1-1!
But I do think this is a step in the right direction to where we can resume athletics in the fall.
You know, we hear the phrase quite often, when this is over, but few of us know what the end of a pandemic actually looks like. Next, what history can tell us about getting back to normal.
Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted.
You know, you You hear people say they're waiting for everything to get back to normal once COVID-19 is over, but what does over actually mean for all of us? 11 Alive's Matt Pearl spoke with historians and a futurist to get their take on how our lives might look by taking a look at the past.
We do think about what it's like when societies turn on a dime. This is an historic moment suddenly, and we're historians. I am professor of history.
I teach history of American law.
I'm Doug Noonan. I'm a professor of public and environmental affairs.
I'm a professor at the University of Toronto.
I am a quantitative futurist. My job is simply about making connections so that we can confront uncertainty head on.
The history of our country and the history of peoples throughout the world is that you absorb.
People think we'll Zoom forever, or that school will be remote forever.
Usually these communities bounce back, and they bounce back to remarkably similar form to what they were before.
Look at 9/11. We got Homeland Security and TSA, but not that much changed.
We're always looking up over the next horizon. We're forward-looking people.
What followed the 1918 pandemic? The Roaring 20s. It was like a big party on steroids.
There were efforts to improve public health. The Depression created an effort to build a social safety net. You just do see societies reknitting themselves.
This kind of shock is, I think, likely to accelerate changes that were actually already happening.
There will be more emphasis on using technology. There will be changes in how office buildings are set up. The gig economy will be reviewed, and the idea, does it make sense?
Often there's a sort of a fusion of cultural expression and art. There's these wonderful sort of artistic, like symphonies that are all performing in their little Zoom boxes. Art's gonna art, right?
At the end of the day, this will pass too. And I think we'll rebound.
We're in a slippery situation right now, and we cannot collectively slam our foot on the brakes. We have to be willing to steer into the slide.
Steer into the slide. I like that saying. It's always a little scary to steer into the slide, though, isn't it? Especially when you're driving on slick roads. And we had some rain-slicked roads out here tonight. Sue Hurst, one of our 11 Alive storm trackers, showing us that rain started moving into Roswell right around the dinner hour here. And Carol Simmons showing a shelf cloud as those storms moved in. Those cumulonimbus clouds moved in associated with those thunderstorms, and the skies darkened and the winds picked up. It was pretty impressive. Chandler Stewart in Atlanta has this video from what appears to be a higher level floor here, showing those storms as they advanced into the Atlanta area, and the skies darkening, and then the sky just opened up and we had those brief heavy downpours, with most folks picking up some heavy rain where it really came down. We've had many reports of 1/2 inch to even 6/10 of an inch as these two lines of storms moved through the Atlanta area today. So, and then some spots didn't get a single drop, but impressive. Thank you, Chandler Stewart, for posting that on our 11 Alive Storm Tracker Facebook page. So this is what's left of those lines as they moved through Atlanta. They looked very impressive, and now moving into northwest Georgia and weakening as they go along. So on the back side of this, we're just seeing a few showers out there this evening, and things are going to be cloudy and drizzly. So the roads will likely still be wet because we do have some light to moderate rain out there in Kennesaw. Most of it's just widespread light rain, though. And then we're going to continue to see that line break up and move off to the northwest. And I think overnight we'll continue to see some of those scattered showers. Plenty of moisture out there as this area of low pressure moves around and brings in that moisture off the Atlantic. We have an easterly flow, and that kind of sets up a wedge pattern for us, which is cloudy and wet. So cloudy with light rain and then occasional showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon and evening. So those temperatures definitely going downhill once that rain moved on in. We had that dramatic temperature drop, some 10 degrees as it went from the mid-80s down into the mid-70s in just really a few minutes time, and that rain cool air brought in that refreshing breeze. So it was a nice welcome relief for many if they didn't get their barbecue barbecues rained out during the dinner hour. So our high temps today made it to the mid-80s in Atlanta and in Canton and in Rome. 79 in Blairsville. It was 86 in Athens and Eatonton before the rain cooled them off. 88 in Peachtree City. So we ended up being a few degrees above average today, and now we're running about 10 degrees or so cooler than we were at this time yesterday. In places like Gainesville and Canton, we're running about 5 degrees cooler than we were at this time yesterday in Atlanta. So the next 12 hours, I think we'll see those thunderstorms tapering off. We'll have just a few light showers around and overcast skies, and then into our Tuesday we go. And we have a chance for a few morning showers. We'll have clouds around and about a 30% chance for showers and storms to redevelop once again. So there go the showers and storms moving from the southeast to the northwest. We see that wedge pattern set in here. So still a few showers possible overnight with some downpours here across far northeast Georgia. That's certainly possible. And then we'll continue to be cloudy and gray as we head in through much of our Tuesday. And don't be surprised if we have more thunderstorms during the afternoon and evening. And then we'll watch that area of low pressure kind of scoot up to the north. That just keeps our pattern on the cloudy gray side with the chance for showers throughout the next couple of days. So a 30% chance of showers on our Tuesday and Wednesday with possible isolated thunderstorms, 50% chance Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And into the rest of the weekend, we'll have a 40% chance on Sunday. So we're just in that summertime pattern now that we have officially or unofficially started summer with Memorial Day.
All right, Sam, thank you so much. A warning tonight from health experts. They say smokers can experience more severe complications from COVID-19. Scientists at UC San Francisco found smoking nearly doubles the rate of disease progression, and smokers were at a greater risk of severe outcomes and death. The president of the American Medical Association says underlying conditions caused by smoking weaken the body's response to COVID-19 and could be one of the factors in the virus's disproportionate impact on African Americans, Native Americans, and the Latino communities. Well, those burgers and hot dogs could hurt your wallet a little bit more this Memorial Day. With some meat processing plants partially closed because of COVID-19, there are fewer options to choose from. And that is, of course, driving up prices. There's also more demand for meat products, considering Memorial Day is very popular for grilling. And cabin fever has Americans seeking out more cabins. This is where people get the urge to travel while keeping that social distance. Airbnb says searches for cabin stays have shot up in popularity. They're now the second most popular search, when last year they were 6. Some areas have also reported a boost in hunting and fishing licenses as well.
President Trump began Memorial Day with the traditional wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. The president, vice president, and defense secretary saluted the tomb of the unknown soldier. It was a much different ceremony than normal. The president did not make a speech there, and the ceremony is closed to the public because of the pandemic. The president did speak at another ceremony at Fort McHenry. Now, this is a day we all honor the fallen over many generations, and we think of their loved ones who grieve because they made sacrifices too. We are always in their debt. Here's Cheryl Preheim.
It's a place that exposes our gratitude with a soundtrack that stirs our soul. The men and women here served their country with honor. Many knew firsthand what it was like to face the enemy. Many died on battlefields in faraway places. Some fought in wars long ago and far away. Wars that changed the world and changed their lives. So many wars for so many reasons. Wars far behind us, and some not all that long ago. So many lives lost. So as we think about them on this Memorial Day, it's important to also realize the most recent war, the one that's still going on. the one against a faceless enemy. It's being fought at veterans hospitals and community living centers in Georgia and across the country. The VA reports more than 1,000 veterans at its facilities have died from COVID-19. We know how brave our veterans are. We know how skilled they can be at facing a brutal enemy. But this battle rages not on the front lines, but in the rooms and halls of medical facilities where their families are not even allowed right now. Even for the bravest, it's a difficult war to wage. As we hear the music and believe what it stands for, let's pause to thank and appreciate all who sacrificed for us. Especially now, as the most silent war goes on. Postal workers and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
Well, we we've had a couple of rounds of showers and storms tonight, and it looks like they're starting to wind down. So that's good news. We had the first line move through right around 6, and then the second one moving through a little bit later after that, and bringing in some cooling breezes along with them, as well as some heavy rain. People like Dale Anderson Klaus reporting 6,207 inches that moved through North Fayette when they had those heavy downpours right before dinner time. So we're looking at a 30% chance the next 2 days. A little cooler. We'll be in the 70s on our Tuesday and Wednesday, then a 50% chance, and things heat up again during our Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and pretty much on Sunday. It's going to be a pretty wet, humid, hot period now that we're unofficially in summer.
We will be ready. Thank you so much. We'll see you back here tonight in just a few seconds with more news.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
First tonight at 10, 2 women violently attacked Sunday night outside of a convenience store in Athens by a man who police say was armed with a razor knife. Police say the man claimed that he attacked them because of stress over concerns about COVID-19.
Police say they took the women to a hospital in serious condition. Our John Schierick is in Athens for us tonight.
As of Monday night, Athens Clark County Police were not yet identifying the two women violently attacked here Sunday night, the Golden Pantry convenience store at West Broad Street and North Millage Avenue. The two women had just graduated from the University of Georgia, according to police. Their conditions serious. Police say this man came out of nowhere as the women were walking out of the store at about 9 p.m. Sunday and attacked them using a razor knife. The suspect, 39-year-old Eric Keith Mitchell, who lives, according to jail records, less than a half-mile away. Police say they found Mitchell moments after the attack along with the two wounded women in the convenience store parking lot. And according to police, Mitchell confessed, citing, quote, stress from COVID-19 concerns as the precipitating factor for the unprovoked attacks.
I just definitely think it's crazy.
Late Monday afternoon, three women out for a walk, also UGA class of 2020, stopped to tell me they can't stop thinking about the women who were attacked, how it could have been anyone.
I mean, our families always tell us, don't go anywhere alone. And they were not alone. They were together.
It's definitely scary, especially like in a weird time like this.
The fact that there were two of them, not just like one girl, it's scary. It's unsettling.
No one with the store would comment or say if there is security camera video, and no one with police was available to access records of crimes at this address.
No matter who you're with, where you are, something like that should never happen, and we hope that they're doing okay.
The suspect in jail, charged with 2 counts each of aggravated assault and aggravated battery.
New tonight, a wild chain of events near the Old Fourth Ward ends with 3 people in jail, one of them shot by police officers. Atlanta police tell us someone called them about gunshots at Parkway Drive and Wabash Avenue in northeast Atlanta. When officers got there, they noticed a white SUV. 4 people got out and ran, and investigators say one was holding a rifle. Officers shot that man once in the arm. He is in the hospital but should be okay. 2 others were arrested. 1 man got away. No officers were hurt. Police say the SUV was stolen in March. They don't yet know what led to the initial call of gunshots, and the GBI is now leading the investigation. Well, we have just learned Brookhaven police have found a 7-year-old boy who had been missing since 3 this afternoon. Dash Zeno went missing at the Berkshires at Lenox Park Boulevard and Gables Drive. Moments ago, investigators say the child has been found and police arrested 1 person. We'll continue to update this story on 11alive.com and in our 11 Alive app.
New developments tonight in the shooting death of Ahmad Armory in South Georgia, Glynn County. The Department of Justice has now informed the family last week that they are getting involved. According to the Armory family, attorney Lee Merritt, part of the federal investigation will include why it took so long to make any arrests. Plus, civil and criminal charges will be considered for those involved.
The family is relieved to see this kind of action from the DOJ and from the GBI, from the district attorney's office. Everyone has been very supportive. Everyone has been very focused on investigating the entirety of the claim.
We will hear more from Armory's family attorney coming up on Up Late on 11 Alive at 11 tonight. Some on and off again rain this holiday weekend. Samantha Moore joins us. What about for the remainder of the week?
It looks like we're going to have those heat of the day storms each and every day. It won't be as hot tomorrow, so maybe fewer storms, but still we are staying on the humid side. Now you can see where they're at right now. They are now in northwest and northeast Georgia. So we're seeing them still developing here, moving in out of the Carolinas, in towards Rabun County, Tallulah Falls, in through Toccoa with some heavy downpours. No lightning at this hour. So that's what makes this different than what we have seen the last couple of nights. And it's also different because it's coming from the east to the west. And we've definitely seen a cooling trend here. There are those heavier downpours north of Toccoa right now, moving to the west. So I think it'll be the most active spot yet during the next few hours will be in northeast Georgia. We're also seeing those showers in northwest Georgia, but I think Rome is going to start to dry out the next few hours. So I think their heavier rain is over with. They'll just have some light showers to contend with as this continues to move from the southeast to the northwest during the overnight hours. So coming up, we'll time it out and let you know what to expect for the rest of this week.
11 Alive is committed to helping you make sure that you have the most up-to-date, the most informative information concerning COVID-19, and that includes working to make sense of Georgia's complicated data. So we're taking a close look at 3 things tonight, starting off with new cases. We're going to focus on those because we're watching Georgia's average tick up. Over the past 7 days, that's the section you're going to see here in orange on the graph. We have seen a spike. There are a couple of reasons for this. More people are getting tested, plus people are also starting to become more mobile and interacting with one another more. Experts tell us those factors help explain the reasons we're seeing more cases right now. So let's move on to the number of people who are in the hospital right now. This information is the closest to real time that we have. These are the most severe cases, the ones that require serious medical attention. We continue to see this number go down from 1,500 at the beginning of the month to 848 today. It seems like the drop is starting to slow down a bit here. And as far as deaths are concerned, we saw a big jump late last week. 3 deaths reported on Saturday and 16 on Sunday. Now, there might be a reason for that. It's a holiday weekend and reporting typically slows on weekends. Nearly every drop that you see on that graph marks a weekend. Well, what we'll really be telling with all of this is what we see after Memorial Day is over and reporting picks back up again. Those numbers will be a better indication of what's going on. And as always, if you have a question about the data, the numbers, let us know and we'll work to get you some answers. Well, we recently learned Georgia's youngest victim of COVID-19 is a 17-year-old boy from Fulton County. The Georgia Department of Health did say that he had a chronic illness. At least 9 other people under the age of 30 have also died from the virus here in our state. At least 3 had other health issues.
For some, Memorial Day weekend was business as usual. Check out the video from Lake of the Ozarks. That's in Missouri. People packed at a bar, no social distancing part of that lexicon. As a result, executives from that county are asking for those in this crowd to self-quarantine for 14 days. And it wasn't just Missouri. We saw it in multiple locations here in Georgia. And in these cases, social distancing as rare as cold weather. And more businesses now reopening. States are easing restrictions. There is a warning tonight from public health experts to stay ever vigilant. Otherwise, they warn a second wave could be upon us. Here is Ryan Kruger.
This Memorial Day weekend, thousands of people flocked to Georgia beaches and parks. Many restaurants have reopened and stay-at-home orders have been eased.
There is no safe, but there are degrees of safer.
Dr. Brian Castrucci is the CEO of De Beaumont Foundation, a public health organization that works with local governments.
We still have no therapeutics and we still have no vaccine. So there's not a lot of difference between when we started the stay-at-home orders and today, except that we are a little further ahead of the virus. We've kind of boxed it in a little bit. But if we let our guard down, it'll come roaring back.
Castrucci says one of the keys to getting back to normal will be increased testing. Similar to the rapid strep or flu test that you take at the doctor's office, he believes the best way for us to get back to normal is to have rapid testing available for everyone for the coronavirus.
As much energy as we're putting into getting a vaccine, we should put the same amount of energy into getting a really reliable and accurate test that can be done quick.
In the meantime, Dr. Castrucci says that everybody will have to decide for themselves about the risk that they are willing to take to keep themselves safe. Coming up, several recent graduates at the Lovett School test positive for COVID-19. Now the state is looking into how they got it since school's been out for a while.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during Primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. on 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and
There's now an investigation into a situation at a private school near Buckhead. Several students tested positive for COVID-19. Well, the state and Fulton County boards of health are now looking into what happened. Our Joe Hinkie has a story tonight.
The Lovett School not releasing information on how many students it knows of that recently tested positive for COVID-19. But in a new statement released to 11 Alive this morning, a school spokeswoman wrote, Lovett has been notified by several class of 2020 families that their graduates have tested positive for COVID-19. The statement continues to read, the notifications were made several days after a socially distanced drive-by senior parade occurred. An in-person graduation has been postponed to late July. The school has been made aware of several off-campus social gatherings, but has no information on any private events. Online, the Lovett School describes itself as an independent K-12 school and college preparatory institution for grades 6 through 12. Tuition for the upcoming school year listed at $30,800. A once public post on the social media app TikTok showed two girls, one wearing a Lovett sweatshirt, with the pair holding up positive COVID-19 test results. Appearing to joke about their results, the video's caption read, well, Corona isn't fake. The number of Lovett students testing positive for COVID-19 described by a Georgia Department of Public Health spokeswoman as a cluster. And by email wrote 11 Alive saying DPH and the Fulton County Board of Health were notified by the Lovett School of students recently testing positive for COVID-19. The Fulton County Board of Health is awaiting the test results from the lab and the names of the students from Lovett. We will begin case interviews and contact tracing as soon as we have the necessary information.
It looks like we have some rain ahead for this week as we make our way toward June. Meteorologist Samantha Moore joins us with a forecast.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing these scattered showers and isolated storms, Jeff, for the days to come and through this week. Now that Memorial Day is here and it's the unofficial start of summer, meteorological summer is just a few days away. It begins on June 1st, and then our seasons, of course, a few weeks after that summer begins officially on the seasonal calendar. Well, we're looking at the clouds that were building up here in Hiram, so in Paulding County. This is just as those storms were starting to move in, so that's the top of those cumulonimbus clouds. William Bowling, one of our 11 Alive storm trackers, posting that, and this is what it looked like a short time later. The skies just darkening, and we had a couple of lines move in through the Atlanta area, bringing in some heavy downpours, some gusty winds as it came on through. Look at that. I mean, those are some big drops of rain that make it very difficult to navigate. Carol Simmons, she posted this video on our 11 Alive Storm Tracker Facebook page of the skies darkening here. This is in Atlanta, southeastern Atlanta. Skies darkening, the wind starting to blow, and there's our hummingbird feeder there at the top that's getting ready to be shaken around. So it was quite the heavy downpour, she said, as it moved on in, and then those breezy conditions following it. So things are really starting to quiet down now. Really, things are weakening considerably. I think our most active area the next few hours will be far northeast Georgia. We're seeing some downpours moving their way in from South Carolina in through Rabun County. Tallulah Falls will likely see some downpours for anybody who may be camping around that area. Turnerville as well, seeing some downpours start to work their way in across State Route 23. So I think this is going to expand a little bit during the overnight hours, but elsewhere I think it's going to be just a few little leftover showers as we head into the overnight hours. Area of low pressure here over the northeast Gulf of Mexico. That's going to bring in all that moisture that we are seeing as we take a look at that circulation around that low. And that low is going to make its way right up along our coastline, and it's going to impact our weather the next couple of days. So we're seeing those wet streets here in Rome still at this hour, but I think they're going to see improving conditions the next couple of hours as we get into those early morning hours after midnight. So improving conditions for most of us here. Next 12 hours, we'll see those showers taper off and a lot of cloud cover out there. It's going to start out pretty overcast in the morning. So this is one of our future radar products showing just what I was talking about. This is where most of the activity is going to be during the overnight hours. So we'll see downpours here, occasional thunderstorms in Rabun County, and that will expand down towards 85 during the morning tomorrow. So 85 was our high today, 68 our low, a few degrees above average. We should be around 82 and 63, and we picked up almost 7/10 of an inch of rain. There's what happened when the rain moved in. It just cooled us off by 10 degrees. So we're seeing those cooler temperatures out there now, several degrees cooler than we were at this time yesterday. So during the overnight hours and into tomorrow, we'll see a few showers, very intermittent hit or miss showers. And other than that, we'll be looking for an uptick in the activity as we heat back up on our Thursday and Friday. So that area of low pressure is going to cool us off for a couple of days, and then we'll see the heat start to rise. And then after that happens, we'll see a frontal system approach over the weekend, and that will enhance our thunderstorm development for Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday as well. So heat of the day storms, they are here to stay for a while. Hey, we have a great weather wow for you tonight. Kevin Morris in Temple, Georgia. He posted this. I think this was yesterday. We had such great sunset pictures yesterday. The oranges and the blues and the reds. Great work, Kevin. We sure do appreciate you showing us how things were looking in your neighborhood. If you'd like to be an 11 Alive Storm Tracker, just go to our 11 Alive Storm Tracker Facebook page and submit your name, and we'll approve you. And hopefully you can supply us with weather information as well as some great photos.
Talk about a little big shot. His name is Zeke, and he's got some skills there. Hope Ford met with the young Metro Atlanta kid who has no doubt that his future lies on a basketball court.
6-year-old Zeke Wozniak is like many kids his age, doing science projects.
We call this one the egg drop.
And trying to make the best of quarantine with his family. But there's one way Zeke's different from other first graders. The boy can handle a basketball.
It's entertaining. I'm good at it. I have a God-given talent.
It all started when Zeke's parents, George and Jacqueline, took him to a Harlem Globetrotters game when he was 3. His parents got him a basketball as a souvenir.
And he started like spinning, going behind his back, lifting up his leg, going through his legs.
As it turns out, his parents gave him his first assist.
He came home and he said, "Hey, can we do a trick shot with it?" I guess that's when it all started, and the rest is history.
Zeke now has an arsenal of basketballs, although he's partial to this one. It takes Zeke about 5 to 20 minutes to perfect a shot, but to him it feels more like
100,000 minutes.
The hard work pays off. He's gained thousands of Instagram followers and the attention of the team that inspired him from the beginning.
Oh my goodness.
In 2018 and 2019, Zeke got the chance to meet the Harlem Globetrotters and have a little fun on the court himself. The attention is great, but some of Zeke's favorite memories are the ones he's making with his forever teammates, his family.
We just work as a team. Sometimes mom thinks, sometimes I think. We always think.
That is great. Hope for joining us live now, and Hope, I'm sure in addition to the Globetrotters, Zeke has another favorite team, one that maybe he dreams about playing for one day.
Oh, of course. Zeke is a huge fan of the Hawks. Right? So he says that his favorite player is actually Trey Young. He wants to be on the NBA one day and actually make a logo shot.
Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully he'll get to meet Trey someday soon when we get everything back up and running. All right, Hope, thank you so much.
All right, there's a famous line about Memorial Day about the flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of every soldier, each and every one who died protecting it. Memorial Day is about sacrifice, and many of the events normally held across Metro Atlanta to honor this day were put on hold, others smaller than usual. In Loganville, a small group of people gathered at a wreath-laying ceremony. Normally, the city is home to a big event involving hundreds of motorcycles who drive from Loganville to Madison. But the Ride for America canceled this year. Attendees at the wreath-laying stood far apart from each other, some wearing masks. And it was time for a quiet tribute. On Memorial Day, we are also thinking of military families who grieve to this day and have for generations. Your loved ones are not forgotten. Be sure to look on 11alive.com for the many ways that people across Metro Atlanta observing Memorial Day. It is normal for kids to need a refresher on schoolwork when they come back from the summer, but with remote learning, some experts, some teachers, some educators are afraid of the summer brain drain could be much worse this year. Coming up, the ways we parents can help.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers.
When students go back to school this fall, experts are concerned that they'll be behind their grade level. Teachers say summer learning loss happens every year, and this year they say it may happen more because of the months of virtual learning. Amelia Young explains how to help with or without access to a computer.
Staying on track is key. That's according to April Myers with Anderson County Schools. Research shows missed school means missed learning.
Without educational opportunities over those summer months, we can see as much as a year of loss.
Students have been learning virtually for months. Myers says it's critical to continue that through summer.
Socially, academically, it's going to be a big leap, I think, once we get back into the classroom.
As little as 20 to 30 minutes a day can make a huge impact.
It's going to help them stay on track, stay on grade level.
Anderson County students have summer guides with topics to review and prepare for in English, math, science, and social studies using online material. For families that don't have that option,
summer learning loss is a big focus for us.
Boys and Girls Clubs are offering Tennessee Tutoring Corps, a program that employs college students to help rising kindergarten through 6th graders in reading and math.
They can come into our clubs and receive that, and they normally would be able to get that at home.
Myers says libraries offer a vast amount of opportunities for learning. Even writing in a journal about their day can help combat the learning loss too.
And that's really going to help. Students feel more comfortable when they come back in.
Now that families are accustomed to helping their kids at home, continuing that for 2 more months can make a huge difference.
All right, time now for me to head off to get ready for Up Late coming up in about 30 minutes on our sister station 11 Alive. So if you're up late, join us for more news and weather.
Jennifer, if you want to hang around another 30 minutes, I certainly wouldn't get in the way of that.
I know you wouldn't, Jeff. I missed you earlier.
Okay. All right, we'll see you at 11 o'clock over in 11 Alive. Thanks. Here's what's coming up on the Big 36. The coronavirus deals a heavy blow to an already vulnerable group of people. Coming up, a first-hand look at the struggles of the homeless during the pandemic.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it
The state guidelines still ask people to keep a distance and avoid crowds. Caitlin Ross heard from hundreds of people who have very strong feelings about what socializing could look like post-quarantine.
Our 11 Alive inbox has been flooded with people either furious about crowded parks and beaches or saying enough already, it's time to get back outside. And people are really passionate on both sides of this. I posted this question on my Facebook page. Are you still social distancing? The responses came in fast and furious, with hundreds of people weighing in on what's best for their family. Elizabeth says she can understand why people are frustrated. I'm completely over social distancing and how regulated it's become, mostly by everyday citizens. If you don't want to be around groups of people, maybe don't go out to parks and beaches on Memorial Day weekend. Bridget says her family is still keeping a strict quarantine, though, washing hands, wearing masks, staying 6 feet apart. I don't understand why you wouldn't, she says. Love your neighbors. But Shasta says enough already. It should be our right as Americans to either choose to stay home or go out. We cannot continue to live this way. 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks, and we want to hear from you on this. What are you doing now that some of those restrictions are easing? You can weigh in with your opinion on our Facebook page.
Memorial Day shoppers were trying to get in on some sales, and some stores are firing back up, but shopping looked a little bit different today, whether it was retail or groceries. I ran into Charles Barkley at Publix at Ansley earlier today. We were both wearing our masks. Stores are taking several measures to keep everybody safe. Here's NBC's Vicki Wynn.
Safety first in stores. That's the goal this week as hundreds more open across America. Tech giant Apple reopens 25 stores across half a dozen states. While some will only allow curbside pickup, others will allow in-store shopping with social distancing and cleanliness in mind. Customers will also have to wear masks, submit to temperature checks at the door, and answer health-related questions as part of a screening process for COVID-19 symptoms. Nordstrom has already reopened about 35 stores across the South, with more locations to follow. Under its new guidelines, the retailer will quarantine returned items for at least 24 hours and make sure customers know the rules as soon as they enter.
What we found in the stores that we have open is the most important person is that greeter at the door who explains to the customer what's going on, what they can expect. And we found that that's a really critical part of the customer experience.
The world's largest mall operator, Simon, announcing it will provide masks and hand sanitizer to shoppers.
They need to promote physical distancing and crowd control, mask usage within their store. They need to have hand sanitizer or wipes available. They need to ramp up cleaning and disinfecting practices, and they need to communicate. They need easy to read signs everywhere.
And grocery stores are making changes too. Shoppers at the nation's largest grocery chain, Kroger, will hear this.
Maintain a distance of 6 feet, approximately 2 cart lengths, from others when possible.
Kroger CEO Rodney McMullen said the company spent more than $700 million to increase wages, add safety measures, and improve technology for online orders and deliveries.
Early on, we started being in contact with retailers in China, Italy, Hong Kong, Singapore, and we started putting together what are the things that we need to do to keep our associates safe and our customers safe.
Behind the scenes, overhead cameras and sensors will count how many customers are in the store. The company shared its 48-page coronavirus blueprint online to help other businesses safely reopen with best practices for cleaning, curbside pickup, and emergency sick leave policies that encourage workers to stay home at the first sign of illness.
Sometimes it's good to put it out there so that everyone can benefit from this knowledge, and it sounds like that's what y'all are trying to do.
Anything that we can do to help get America back up and operating is something good for all of us.
And expect more options for a no-contact shopping experience. We first showed you this smart cart in February. Scan your items, and when it's time to check out, tap your credit card.
Enjoy your bananas.
Take care. No need to wait in a busy checkout line. The company that makes it says it's seen a spike in demand since the pandemic. Analytics company SAS developed this heat mapping technology businesses can use to monitor room capacity and identify high-touch areas that may require more frequent cleaning. But with no federal mandates on how stores reopen, experts say shoppers should use their discretion about where to spend.
If you see a store that's not requiring masks, that doesn't have hand sanitizer, would you go in?
I personally would not go in. To me, that's a sign that they're not taking it seriously and they're needlessly putting people at risk.
Dr. Gosch gave a few more tips. Avoid elevators, look out for them. It is impossible to maintain social distance. So take the stairs, the steps, or the escalator instead. Avoid touching railings. That's always a good idea, even in non-pandemic times. And also avoid your face. Keep your hands off your face. Finally, you want to make sure you carry hand sanitizer in the event that you cannot find a spot to wash your hands. President Trump began Memorial Day with the traditional wreath laying at Arlington National Cemetery. The president, vice president, and defense secretary saluted the tomb of the unknown soldier. It was a different ceremony than normal. The president did not make a speech there, and the cemetery is closed to the public because of the pandemic. The president did speak at another ceremony at Fort McHenry. The White House has announced it will restrict travel from Brazil. This comes as the country deals with a widespread outbreak of COVID-19. Brazil is now second in the world for COVID-19 cases, just behind the U.S. The travel restriction goes into effect late Thursday night. It blocks entry of non-U.S. citizens who have been in Brazil during the last 14 days. The White House says the ban is intended to prevent new sources of infection. Rumors circulating online that the new EIP debit cards sent to nearly 4 million Americans will allow the federal government to track your transactions. Is that true? Here's our verified team. They're looking into it.
The Verify team is here to break down rumors spreading online, and there's been no shortage of misinformation about those stimulus checks which were sent to millions of Americans. Maybe you saw news stories about the latest development. The Treasury is sending debit cards to millions of Americans instead of paper checks. That prompted posts like this, people claiming that this will allow the government to track how you spend the money. So let's verify. Can the government track your transactions if you use these debit cards? First, let's get some background. In a recent press release, the Treasury announced that they were sending out nearly 4 million of these debit cards. It's for Americans who qualify for the payments but do not have their bank info on file with the IRS. And once you receive one of these cards, you can basically do whatever you want with them. Use the card at a store, transfer funds to a personal account, even cash out at an ATM. But let's get to the big question here. Can the feds actually track your purchases? Well, first off, we should point out that the Treasury Department isn't actually managing the cards. That's done by MetaBank, a private company that acts as the financial agent for the Treasury. And that's when we need to talk about the Right to Financial Privacy Act. On the MetaBank website, they say this law prohibits them from giving your info to the feds without written permission, except under very limited circumstances. So we can verify. No, the Treasury is unable to track your purchases if you use these debit cards, because that would break the law. With your Verify, this is Evan Kozlov.
Do you have something you want us to verify? Send us an email at verify@11alive.com. How do you stay at home if you don't have a place to stay? Well, more than 500,000 Americans are homeless. As our country continues to fight against COVID, we spoke to people struggling with homelessness who feel the times are against them.
If you are sick, no matter who you are, please stay home.
Just wear a mask. Wash your hands more often than you ever dreamed possible.
People should be staying at home. That's what we want.
Wash your hands frequently. And wear a mask if you're going to be within 6 feet of others. Stay at home.
It's a pretty big tent. I don't know if you can see inside or whatever, but
Please stay home.
There are people out here like myself that really try hard. Sorry. I was working 45, 50 hours a week at a job in Epicenter downtown. And the minute Governor Cooper said takeout only and no more dine-in, we all got furloughed. COVID-19 brought us all back to square one. It's just like these cards are stacked against us. You know, the harder we try, it seems like you take a step forward and you go 2 steps back.
An outbreak occurs among the homeless, it's going to spread like wildfire.
What you see behind my head is the underside of the top bunk, which is where I sleep, and my bed is about 8.5 feet away from somebody who tested positive. There's a shortage of PPE at the shelter, you know, and the city's not really coming through to make sure that shelters have enough PPE.
Yeah, thank you.
Linda? Yeah, wipes and gloves. Wipes and gloves. I got men's underwear and socks too, if you need any.
We've gone from feeding 600 people a week to 1,800. I think we've been sleeping maybe 4 to 6 hours a day since this pandemic started.
We're not all the bad people that people think we are. You know, we're not the drunk on the corner or the drug addict on underneath the bridge. You know, we want better, but nobody will help us. You know, I mean, affordable housing, that's it. That's it. Sorry. No, that's cool.
We have a list of how the federal government is helping the homeless under the CARES Act on the 11 Alive app. Just search for this story on the Scene on TV section. We hear the phrase often, oh, when this is over, but few of us know what the end of a pandemic looks like. Next, what history can tell us about getting back to where we were.
Your 11 Alive storm trackers tracking some lines of heavy rain throughout the afternoon and evening, and now things are tapering off, except for in some spots. So coming up, we'll detail exactly who could see the rain overnight and what you can expect for the rest of this week.
Coming up next in sports, high schools in the state of Georgia are allowed to welcome student athletes back for workouts in 2 weeks. We'll find out why Fulton County is waiting just a little longer.
To help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases, wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We certainly hear people all the time say they are waiting for everything to get back to normal once COVID-19 is over. But what does over even mean? Here is 11 Alive's Matt Pearl, who spoke with historians and a futurist to get their take on how lives might look after COVID.
We do think about what it's like when societies turn on a dime. This is an historic moment suddenly, and we're historians. I am professor of history.
I teach history of American law.
I'm Doug Noonan. I'm a professor of public and environmental affairs.
I'm a professor at the University of Toronto.
I am a quantitative futurist. My job is simply about making connections so that we can confront uncertainty head on.
The history of our country and the history of people throughout the world is that you absorb.
People think we'll Zoom forever, or that school will be remote forever.
Usually these communities bounce back, and they bounce back to remarkably similar form to what they were before.
Look at 9/11. We got Homeland Security and TSA, but not that much changed.
We're always looking up over the next horizon. We're forward-looking people.
What followed the 1918 pandemic? The Roaring 20s. It was like a big party on steroids.
There were efforts to improve public health. The Depression created an effort to build a social safety net. You just do see societies reknitting themselves.
This kind of shock is, I think, likely to accelerate changes that were actually already happening.
There will be more emphasis on using technology. There will be changes in how office buildings are set up. The gig economy will be reviewed, and the idea that does it make sense.
Often there's a sort of a fusion of cultural expression and art. There's these wonderful sort of artistic like symphonies that are all performing in their little Zoom boxes. Art's gonna art, right?
At the end of the day, this will pass too. And I think we'll rebound.
We're in a slippery situation right now, and we cannot collectively slam our foot on the brakes. We have to be willing to steer into the slide.
For your 11 Alive Storm Trackers today, we're busy tracking an afternoon and evening filled with some heavy downpours and some thunderstorms here. David Wentworth in Cherokee County showing as these storms moved through and the skies darkened. He showed the color in the clouds there. And Carol Simmons in Atlanta showing the shelf cloud, which is at the base of a huge towering cumulonimbus cloud, a thunderstorm that moved in through Atlanta. And also Chandler Stewart posting this picture as the storms rolled right in to Atlanta, coming from up above in some high-level apartment perhaps or condo, looking out over the city as those skies darkened and the winds picked up and the rain just came down, and then as it came down, just cooling the atmosphere by some, oh goodness, 10 degrees as it moved on in within a matter of minutes. So thank you, Chandler, for posting that. And now things are really quieting down. I think we're seeing things just become more showery overnight. There are still some stronger downpours here in Clayton and Rabun County, stretching down through Mossy Creek at this hour. So that's going to be the area to watch as we head into the overnight hours. It's going to be a little bit more disturbed here in far northeast Georgia with that easterly flow coming in there. So I think the rest of us will just see intermittent light showers and plenty of overcast. And the rainfall amounts really interesting. Of course, some folks didn't pick up anything while others got the lion's share of the rain. Here in southeast Cherokee, northeast Cobb, almost 2 3/4 inches, 1.5 inches of Rome, and also a little over 2 inches in Peachtree City. So our high temperatures today, boy, it was a hot one. We got up to 85 degrees, so that was unseasonably warm today. And then we dropped as those storms moved on through by 10-15 degrees. So 86 in Canton was our high, 86 in Athens, 86 in Dalton, and now we're looking at 70 in Athens, Duluth, 71 in Rome. Temperatures about 15 degrees cooler than we were at the heat of the day. So those storms are tapering off to showers. We'll be on the cool side for our Tuesday, at least a couple of degrees cooler than average. It'll be kind of nice and cloudy too, and unsettled all week long. So here's the timing of this. There are a few showers left in North Georgia. This is going to be our most active spot overnight tonight in the early morning hours, maybe an occasional rumble and of thunder and flashes of lightning, but for the most part, just some downpours. Easterly flow stays with us. That's why we're so cloudy and kind of drizzly, showery early in the morning, and we continue to see that off and on throughout the day. Can't rule out a heavier downpour here or there as we head in through the afternoon and evening, and then into our Wednesday, still getting that easterly component to the wind flow around that area of low pressure that's moving out of Florida and moving on up into the Appalachians. So that keeps us on the cool and gray side for the next couple of days. So a 30% chance of showers on our Tuesday and Wednesday with some isolated thunderstorms. Rain chances go up to 50% Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and really into Sunday. It's going to be an active period towards the end of the week, and a frontal system's moving through here. That's what's enhancing thunderstorms on our Saturday and Sunday, and then into Monday we go, and the rain chances should go down.
Last week, we reported high school athletes can begin voluntary workouts on June 8th. Even though the GHSA gave the green light for these workouts, Fulton County schools will take another week to return. Maria Martin tells us why they are waiting a little bit longer.
Last week, the GHSA announced voluntary workouts could begin on June 8th in the state of Georgia. Fulton County, however, isn't going back just yet.
You guys are going to wait until the 15th. What went into that decision to hold off?
At the end of the day, we wanted to make sure that we had our plans in place to where we could provide the safest environment for our staff and our students.
Like everything else right now, this is a slow and phased reopening.
We're only going to bring back the fall sports to start with. It's all about just making sure that we're comfortable with what the situation we're going to put our coaches and our student athletes in when we bring them back on the 15th.
Schools could add more safety measures on top of the list that the GHSA sent out, and that's exactly what Fulton County Athletic Director Stephen Kraft is doing.
I can tell you that our coaches will be required to wear masks. There's questionnaires and questions that we're going to ask our kids each day. And, we have made the decision that we are going to do temperature checks for our students.
Even though it's voluntary workouts, there's no footballs being thrown around. Do you get a sense of excitement from them?
Absolutely. I had a lot of them talk about, it's almost like Christmas morning at this point for them.
While this is far from a full-blown football practice, it is a step in the right direction.
We're going to take it slow and steady.
Go team long way!
But I do think this is a step in the right direction to where we can resume athletics in the fall.
Brad Kozlowski took the checkered flag last night in Charlotte. Dawsonville's Chase Elliott, who attended Kings Ridge in suburban Atlanta, had the lead to go with 2 laps, but decided to pit before overtime. It cost him the lead and a signature win. Another tough break for Mr. Elliott.
This week's been pretty unfortunate, but we've had some tough losses in my first however many years I've been doing this, 5-6 years, unfortunately. So it is what it is.
Troy Vincent, the NFL's Executive Vice President of Football Operations, says the league is planning to have full stadiums this fall. Until the medical community tells them otherwise, the NFL has the benefit of time, so a lot can happen between now and September. Vincent also said the league has a plan for half-filled stadiums and is planning for many different scenarios. That is sports. We'll take a break. We're back right after this.
Can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Rain is pretty much tapering off across the Atlanta metro area. Still a few showers in far northeast Georgia, but we'll have another chance the next several days. 30% chance tomorrow and Wednesday, slightly cooler, a little cloudier, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pretty active with a 50% chance of showers and storms.
All right, Samantha, thank you. Thank you for watching 11 Alive Prime Time. Switch over to 11 Alive right now, as Jennifer Bellamy and Ron Jones have all of your news for you. Remember, the news continues all the time on 11alive.com. Have a good night, everyone.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during primetime. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen